This message, I hope it appeals to someone today, but Spirit put it in my heart. When I woke up this morning, something told me to talk about this, and I don't know, I just have a feeling that somebody is giving somebody a bill of goods. Somebody is selling somebody some land, some oceanfront land in Kansas. Somebody is really, really running game on somebody that they're living with. And that person that they're living with refuses to accept the fact that this person who is close to them is taking advantage of them. I don't know why it's in my heart this morning, because me in particular, I'm not privy to any. Well, no, I know one or two situations that's going on in my family where that's happening. And then you got the one person in the household that's doing everything for everybody. And see, what's happening is the person who is leeching, because that's what they're doing, leeching off the person who's taking care of them. They have periodic fights with this person as to why they're not making any moves. And the person who is the leech is either behaving in one or two ways. They either, one, go passive aggressive, where they go toe to toe on the argument, and then the minute they get called out on their behavior, they get all boo-hoo cry and act like a 4-year-old and try to, and then they get sympathy out of that person because they start bringing up all the trauma they had in their past and the abuse and everything else. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not downplaying trauma and abuse, but if you have been involved in some kind of severe trauma or abuse, we all know that there's therapy out there for that. Because if it's interfering with your current relationships, there's therapy out there for that. A lot of it is free. A lot of it's covered by insurance. So if you're dealing with any type of severe trauma or abuse, please seek help. I mean, seriously. Coming from a place like that, it doesn't matter what you do in this world, it's going to follow you. So please, no matter where you go, what you do, it's going to follow you until you address that, so you can have a better productive life. But anyway, what this person does is they'll either play passive-aggressive, or they'll turn around and try to come up with another way to keep the con going so they won't go anywhere. And on this channel, we don't do lazy. We don't deal with lazy. We don't do lazy. We don't do unnecessarily combative. We don't start fights over here, but we damn sure don't run away from them over here. And that's my mantra in life. I used to be a type of person where I used to get picked on and bullied and beat up on and everything else. And then I kind of went through a phase where I was super aggressive against the world to try to overcompensate. That didn't work out very well. And now I have a sense of balance. So now for the rest of my days, I'm going to be a type of person where I'm going to avoid conflict at all costs. But if you start something with me, I ain't going to run from you. And you better be prepared to fight. That's all I'm saying. And I'm trying to encourage you out there who haven't had the nerve to do so to adopt that mantra at all. Be prepared to defend yourself, but just don't start any fights. And that's what this person does. They're taking you through a proverbial emotional roller coaster, and they got you so under their spell, so to speak, that you're not even paying attention to the fact of how peaceful your life was before this person came into your life. Your finances were good, your time was good, your health was better. Because that's what these people do. When they come into your life, and I have the feeling these people are living with you. They have been living with you, and they probably gave you the intention when they first got there that they were only going to be there for about 6 months, because I have a feeling that somebody lost their job, and that they have a family, or they lost their job and they have a family, and they blamed it on the world situation. But now that the world is opening up and all these jobs are all over the place, see, now they have another excuse for it. And I have another feeling that when the head of the household does confront them, and I think they probably go to them maybe every week or every few days and ask them how the job hunt is going, they have some excuse, or they tell a lie about job prospects. They might say, oh, well, I have this interview and that interview, or the second interview didn't go well, and this, that, and the other, and come to find out they hadn't been looking for work. I have a feeling that this person is also told the head of household that they've applied to certain places, And instead of telling the head of household that they applied, they're actually telling the head of household that they got hired, and that they will actually go through the lengths of pretending like they're going to work for 2 or 3 days from the time that they lied about that they're supposed to start, and then come to find out they're out in the streets doing God knows what during that time. And they will pretend like they're going to work and then come back home and then mysteriously get fired. I have a feeling that this person is also telling the head of household that the reason why they get fired, it always seems to be the management problem, or they can't get along with somebody. And the person who's the head of the household is so close to this person. And I want to say it's a grown child. I want to say it's an adult child that's doing this, that's manipulating a parent. I don't know why I want to say this. I could be wrong. It could be a niece or a cousin or a nephew. Or it could be an older parent coming in and living with a younger child. That could be a situation too. And their relationship wasn't that great. The younger child is successful, but the older parent has never been. And when they lost their one source of income, they decided that they were going to live off the child. That could be another situation. They could have some health problems. They could have some mental problems that the head of household may not be aware of, that's untreated, as to why they can't seem to focus and get their shit together. Wait a minute. I have a feeling. Oh, okay, I see now. Okay, thank you, Spirit. I see now. Okay, the reason why they lost their job and having to move in with you, and I say you as if you're the head of the household supporting this person. The reason why they lost their job and moved in with you, that was a lie that they told you. They said that the place was either laying off, or you had a problem with the management or something like that, or the the world situation or whatever, and come to find out that was not the reason. They were diagnosed with some kind of mental disorder, or maybe substance abuse, failed a drug test or something, and the company wanted them to go to some kind of therapy or rehab or something on their dime, and they refused to do it, and they got fired. That's what happened. And the thing is that you as a head of household kind of suspected that this person had issues, but nothing was done about it. So out of guilt, you're letting them stay with you, and you're either highly religious or totally in denial of the fact that they have this severe problem. Okay, you kind of blame yourself. That's what it is. That's why you're taking care of them. Okay, you blame yourself. You know that they're running game. You know that they have all these issues, but they're a grown-ass person though. Okay, so this is a twofold situation now. I see it now. Now that I think about it, it's a twofold situation. You know that person could be doing better, but you partially blame yourself for it. So you're parenting out of guilt by letting this person live off of you. But the problem is that you could barely take care of yourself. You were already behind in your bills, or just barely making them every single month. And this person has turned around and come in your house. And I think they either brought a girlfriend or a wife or some children. They brought somebody with them. So that's 2 additional mouths to feed when you can barely take care of yourself. And you've got some situations going on health-wise or financially that's severe that need to be addressed, but you can't. Not getting enough sleep. Bank account just a mess. You probably had to take on another job or something. And yeah, you're doing this out of guilt. You're feeling guilty. You already know they're running game. And deep down, you don't want to admit it. So you're taking the religious way out. And you're scraping up your knees every night, praying and asking God to get you out of the situation, when deep down you already know what the situation is. And that's why nothing's being done. So the only thing that I could say in this case is you're going to have to come to terms with the fact that this person has unresolved issues, and they're going to have to get some kind of therapy or rehab, especially if it's a substance abuse problem. Parents, be careful. You got grown kids living in your house and they're doing illegal drugs. And I'm not talking, because, cannabis is legal. But if you know they're doing cocaine and heroin in your house and you don't think it's a big deal, it is a big deal, because those drugs are illegal. Those are illicit substances on your premises. You might come home one day and see like a squad of a team of police cars outside your door, and you don't know why. And they're taking your child to jail, your child and their mate, or their children, or whatever the case may be. And your house, your property is going to be under investigation because it was done on your property. So if you got any children that are doing that in your house, they don't need to be living there. And you think you got it under wraps, but speaking from experience, when someone gets high, they don't remember who they're associated with or where they've been. They claim they do to save face. But if they go in real deep on a serious high, they don't remember. You don't know who's been in and out your house during the day. And that's the number one thing that really bothers you during the day. It really does. You don't know. So when you get done doing what you need to do, trying to make them few extra pennies to feed everybody, you hightail it on home. You probably got a couple of speeding tickets doing this. Mobiles. So it's all in your hands. It's under your control. But you got to get your house back. Your house has been taken over by demons, and they're coming in the form of your children or that wayward parent. But I'm leading more towards older children. And unfortunately, people in my age group are running into this all the time. I hear stories all the time from people in my age group going through the same thing. And first thing they'll say is, I don't understand. I raised them differently. Okay, well, if you see you raise them differently and they're acting different, then that means something different is going on. Same thing occurred with me. I was acting differently than what I was raised, but it took my family a long time to realize something else was going on because they didn't want to accept it. They didn't want to accept the possibility that I could be involved in anything like that. So it's a matter of accepting and dealing with it. I hope this serves someone. My prayers go out to you if you are involved in this, but the denial needs to stop. You need to go ahead and take some action, or else you're going to wind up behind bars or in the graveyard or in some kind of trouble. And you didn't do anything wrong but associate with the wrong people, bring the wrong people in your house. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Peace.